Hi everyone, welcome to live stream Yoga with Louise, tips and cues to make you safe and strong on the mat. For today's Pilates conditioning class, we're going to be trying to connect to those deep muscles that not only give you fantastic control when you're moving, give you strength and stability, but also help to shape and tone the body. To do that, we are going to use a small soccer-sized ball. On the softish side is better. This one's actually a little bit too tight. I'm going to have to work a little bit harder to find that connection. If you don't have a ball at hand, you can modify using the block, or you can do a freestyle class, but you're going to have to use your powers of focus and concentration to find that connection. You ready to play? Let's hit the mat. We're going to set up for today's class lying down on the back as if you were setting yourself up for a bridge line. So knees bent, soles of the feet connected to the mat. And you're going to take the ball, placing it between the two hands and floating it overhead. If you don't have a ball at hand, you're going to modify with the yoga block using the broader side and holding it or holding the block between the two hands, or you can just mimic freestyle. Pick your poison and find your setup frame. Lengthening your spine on the mat, you're going to focus on relaxing your shoulder blades into the mat and almost thinking of squeezing or pinching the mat between your two shoulder blades. Then float the ball softly towards the ceiling, relaxing that hold of the shoulder blades into the mat. Rinse and repeat. Dropping down through the shoulders, squeezing and pinching into the mat, and then relaxing and floating up. Start tying your breath into the movement. Inhaling and exhaling as you move, protracting and retracting through the shoulders. Inhale to float up. Exhale to drop down, pinching and squeezing through the shoulder blades as you play. Keep your belly button heavy into the mat and give me a soft root through your feet. We're going to change the exercise. Keeping your shoulders dropped away from your ears, you're going to float the ball just shy of your knees and then bring it all the way overhead as if you wanted to gently tuck behind your ears. As you're playing between those two positions, whether you've got the ball, whether you're using the block or doing this freestyle, I want you to keep your shoulders away from your ears. So your focus here is on shoulder stability. Keep your shoulders heavy into the mat. Keep your belly button weighted into the mat. Exhale as you drop the ball just shy of your knees. Inhale as you float overhead. Let's do two more. Then we're going to find our core connection and tie the pelvis in. Take the ball and place it between the two thighs, giving me a soft squeeze into the ball. If you don't have a ball at hand, you can modify with your block, taking the narrow end of the block and tucking it between the two thighs as you squeeze in to the block. From your bridge setup, I want you to give me a squeeze into the ball and then softly release. Now close your eyes and take your focus in. As you squeeze into the ball, I want you to almost give me a small little tuck of your tailbone and think Kegel. So start connecting your pelvic floor. Ladies, you're going to focus on trying to connect to those muscles that you use when you're going to the loo and you want to stop the urine flow mid-flow. You're going to hold and pinch and then relax. So you're going to really get into a deep connect with those pelvic floor muscles. Guys, you're going to focus on that area between your anus and your scrotum. As you squeeze in, you're going to engage, pinch, and then softly release the pelvic floor. Start connecting to your abs at the same time as you're squeezing in. You're going to give me 4 more rounds here, and then we'll use that pinch and squeeze to start playing with a little bridge line on the mat. Give me a squeeze into the ball, root through your feet, tilt your pelvis to the 12 o'clock position and peel all the way up into a bridge line. Keep that squeeze even and keep it squeezed even all the way back down to your start position. Once you've reconnected to the mat, relax and release that squeeze. Squeeze in, feeling the root all the way from your feet, inner thighs, into the pelvic floor and the abs. As you come up, engage your glutes and your hamstrings. Keep that squeeze even and bring it all the way down to the mat. If you're using the block or you're doing this freestyle, you need to focus a lot more to find that strong connection through the inner thighs, your pelvic floor, and the abs. Slow and controlled. Today is all about trying to find that deep connection. So don't rush through the movement. Think of mindfully squeezing and finding that connection as you float up and down. We're going to do 2 more dynamic bridges. Then we're going to end high, hold the bridge, and play with that squeeze. So on your next journey up, squeeze in, bring it all the way up, and hold. Give me 10 big squeezes in and out. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Squeeze in, hold. Drop your bum just shy of the floor. Let's say halfway between your start and your end position, and then squeeze back up. Drop down halfway, squeeze back up. You should feel lots of work through the glutes. Let's do 6 more. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. End high. Think of that squeeze into the ball and bring your toes off the mat so that the weight is resting on your heels. Rinse and repeat that halfway drop so that you're hovering just off the floor, and then come back to your highest point. Keep that soft squeeze into the ball or the block. Give me 2 more. You should be feeling the burn. End high and give me soft little squeezes in and out. Think flutter. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2. Float back down to the mat. As you reconnect to the mat and find a neutral spine position, keep the ball or the block between the legs and float your legs into a tabletop line. Float your arms overhead, palms, fingertips, not palms, looking gently up towards the ceiling. From your neutral spine position, take a big breath in, and on the exhale, scoop your lower back, imprint, float the weight just off the shoulders to bring your arms to a hovering position just off the mat. Bring it back to your start position. Exhale as you scoop and round out. Inhale as you come back. Give me a soft squeeze into that ball. Feel your inner thighs, your pelvic floor, and your abs connect. We're going to use this movement as our preparation for a 100 and to find that inner thigh and that pelvic floor connection as we play with the next series of exercises. Make sure you're making your belly button heavy into this mat as you scoop and round out. 1 more, you're going to hold that scooped frame and we're going to go straight into a 100. Inhaling for a count of 5 and exhaling for a count of 5 as you vigorously beat the arms up and down. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep going. As you're beating up and down with the arms, don't Mexican wave with the hand. I want you to lock the arm in position. Give me a long line from your shoulder line to the fingertip and use it almost as an oar, so you're hinging from the shoulder joint. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do another 2. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep your leg position. Float the hands softly behind your head, elbows wide. Keep your lower back scooped and imprinted. Take the legs softly towards the ceiling at 45. Bend and tuck back in. Keep your lower back scooped and imprinted. 2 fingers at air between the chin and the chest as you play with your leg line. Give me 2 more. As you complete your last one, reconnect your feet softly to the mat. Float back down. Keep your hands behind your head, elbows nice and wide, so don't hug them in towards the midline of the body. We're going to do a modified crunch. From a neutral spine position, take a big breath in to prepare. On the exhale, scoop, round out as you squeeze softly into the ball. Inhale to float back down. Rinse and repeat. As you squeeze into the ball and scoop and come up, look down towards your pubis and feel that root through your feet. As you squeeze into the ball, you're going to feel your legs engage. So you're going to zipper up all the way from your ankle bone along the inner thighs, connect through the pelvic floor to your belly button line. Use your breath. You're going to give me 1 more. Float back down to the mat and softly extend the arms overhead. Left hand stacked on top of the right, chin line nice and soft, shoulders relaxed into the mat. Take a big breath in to prepare. On the exhale, scoop, peel up, hold that scoop position as you gently oscillate right to left, left to right. Give me 2 more like this. Float back down to the mat. Take a recovery breath or 2. Stack the right hand over the left. You can softly interlace the fingers or just keep your stack loose. We're going to rinse and repeat. Big breath in, scoop, peel up, travel left to right, right to left. Try to keep your lower back scooped and imprinted. Weight just off the shoulders. 2 fingers of air between the chin and the chest. And as you play, I want you to think of that length through the arms, so almost try and touch the wall at the opposite end of the room. Give me 2 more. As you complete the last one, float back down to the mat and gently hold the ball overhand as you float one leg to 90 and float the other one to about 75. You're going to gently give me a scissor action. So you're going to scoop and imprint your back, scissor the legs up and down, and every time you scissor, you're going to pass the ball behind your leg. Try to keep the weight just off the shoulders. Think of trying to imprint your lower back into the mat. You're going to give me 2 more. The last one, you should be feeling your core burning. Reconnect to the mat, bend the knees, connect the soles of the feet. So coming back into your bridge setup. We're going to play with a single leg roll up, and I will give you a modification if you need to. And you could also use a little bit of support below or rather beneath the lower back if you need it. I'll demo as we start playing. Alrighty. So find your setup position, keep your left leg connected to the mat and float the right leg softly up. You can give me a soft knee line. or you can keep the leg extended. You're going to brace your ball or your block softly in front, or you can do this freestyle, just mimicking the arm position. You can give me a soft bend to the knee, brace into the leg as you roll up and come back down. You can play with that leg action. If you're finding it hard on the spine, you can take a little bit of padding, take your hand towel, roll it up into a little sausage so that you've got support for your lower back as you play. Keep bending and extending, either keeping your left leg bent or extending that leg along the mat. Start playing. Give me a little pass over of the ball every time you roll up. If you find that this is too challenging for you, you can just stick to a normal roll down and just float the ball softly in front. Play where you're comfortable. If you were playing on the one side, let's do a little change over and take it to the left. Keep your right foot connected to the mat, soft leg on the left, ball extended out in front, push it away. As you bend and extend and roll up, start playing with your leg line, and then give me a little pass over as you roll up. Remember, if this is too challenging for you, you're going to just stick to a normal roll down, softly bracing the ball in front as you give me either an extended or a bent leg roll down. So play where you're comfortable. Give me 2 more. You're going to end seated after your last one, and you're going to find your way to a 4-point kneeling frame on the mat. You're going to take the ball, and this is where if the ball is too hard, it's going to skitter right out from underneath you. You're going to squeeze the ball behind your knee, so between the calf and the thigh. And you're going to hover that knee just off the floor. If you do not have a ball at hand, rather do this freestyle. It's going to feel really uncomfortable if you try to modify with the block. So you're just going to mimicking the start position on the mat, and you're going to think donkey kick as you lift and lower the leg. If you're using the ball, you're going to squeeze the ball behind that knee as you lift and lower. Keep that left knee floating just off the mat. You could open up your hands a little bit wider than you would usually have them so that you've got a nice base of support on the mat. Think tabletop line through the back and keep your belly button pulled in as you play. Give me 2 more. You're going to end high for me, and you're going to give me big squeezes into the ball. Think of bringing your heel in and squeezing it in towards your bum. So if you're doing this without the ball, you're thinking of giving me a pulse of your heel in towards your bum. Give me 4, 3, 2, squeeze in, keep that squeeze. You're going to drop your knee just shy of the halfway point and back to your start position. Shy of your halfway point and back up. Give me 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. You're going to drop down onto your right elbow. Elbow stacking underneath your armpit, and you're going to brace your left hand softly into the mat. Keep a soft squeeze of the ball in and bring it up to the 90 position. Think of fire hydrant. You're going to drop that knee down and bring it back to your start position. So thinking of bringing your left knee towards your right knee as you play between the 90 position and the 180 position. Keep your core braced, so keep pulling your belly button in. Give me 4, 3, 2. You're going to end high for me and give me 10 big squeezes as if you were trying to bring your heel in towards your bum. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, squeeze in, drop to the halfway mark and float back up. Keep that squeeze even the whole time. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. We're going to change sides. Tucking that ball just behind your thigh. Find your squeeze in position. Find tabletop. You're going to think donkey kick. Giving me a soft squeeze into the ball or mimicking freestyle. Weight distribution equal. Think of squeezing through the glute to lift and lower your leg. Let's do 3 more. End high and give me 10 big squeezes into the ball. 7, 5, 3, squeeze in, keep that squeeze even as you drop the knee to the halfway point and float back up. Halfway down, back up. 8, 6, 4, 3, 2, drop down onto your bottom elbow, bring the top leg up to 90. You're going to bring that knee down and back up, as if you were trying to get your right knee to float towards your left knee. Right fingertips or palm just softly connected to the mat as you play. Keep a soft squeeze into the ball to keep it from skittering from between the pinched leg. Give me 2 more. You're going to end high for me and give me 10 big squeezes into the ball as if you were trying to bring your heel towards your bum. 7, 5, 3, squeeze in, drop to the halfway mark and come back up. Keep that squeeze even the whole time, playing between the halfway mark and your 90. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, float back down to the mat and gently find your way down onto the belly. If you've got a ball, you're going to begin and you're going to think cobra as you play with this one. I'll give you a freestyle option in a minute. You're going to start with your legs soft and relaxed in parallel. Give me a tilt of your pelvis to the 12 o'clock position so that you can feel your glutes are softly engaged. Think soft little bubble butt. You're going to have the ball in front of you with your fingertips softly connected to the ball and your head tucked between the 2 arms, forehead and nose softly connected to the ball. Then think of softly pressing down into the ball with your hands and pulling the ball in towards. Start peeling up through the spine as you draw the ball in. Pause. Try not to extend from the lower back. Try to extend from your mid back and upper back and drop the shoulders away from your ears. You're going to come back into extension. You're going to shoot for 10 controlled pull-ins and extensions. If you're doing this freestyle without the ball, you're going to start with your hands facing down into the mat and give me a soft claw through your fingertips as you bring the hands closer towards your headline and roll up softly, thinking of extending through the spine, and then float back softly to your start position. So giving me a soft drag of your palms and your fingertips to roll up through the spine. The whole time that you're playing here, whether you're doing this freestyle or with the ball, I want you to think of trying not to load the lower back. So I want the extension to come from your mid back and your upper back. Pretend that there's a little piece of string attached to the crown of your head, and somebody's gently trying to lengthen your spine by tugging on the crown of your head. Try to give me more extension from the mid back and the upper section of your back. Try not to throw the head back, so give me a soft neutral neckline, dropping your chin and softly looking between the two arms towards the floor. Softly float back to the mat. Find your way into a gentle 4-point kneeling frame. And then think child, big toes together, knees open nice and wide. Extend the ball out in front and sit softly back in a childlike position. Make sure your knees are open nice and wide, lots of space for your torso. This time you're going to claw even more through the fingertips as you think almost cat stretch, stopping halfway between a cat and child, and then floating softly back to your extended line. Think of clawing through the fingertips. Think nails on a chalkboard as you come up, rounding out softly through the spine, and then coming back into extension. If you're doing this freestyle without the ball, you're going to find an extended child line on the mat. And I want you to give me a lot more claw through the fingers as you softly drag them in towards your knee line and think soft cat shape on the back. Softly float back to your start position. Then drag, claw through the fingertips, squeeze through the glutes. Whether you're doing this freestyle or whether you're playing with the ball, I want you to try and find your inner thigh, your pelvic and your lower ab connection as you draw that ball in towards the body and then come back into extension. Drag and claw as you come in. Find your way back into extension. Let's do 2 more, then we're going to work on modified cat-cow. Find your way to a 4-point kneeling frame and squeeze the ball between your 2 thighs. If you don't have the ball but the block at hand, take the narrow portion of the block and squeeze it between your 2 thighs. If you're doing this freestyle, just mimic the movement as best you can. Hands stacking underneath your shoulders. Give me a soft squeeze into the ball or the block. Exhale to round out. Find that inner thigh, pelvic floor, and lower ab connection. Inhale. Give me a beautiful reverse shape. Squeeze as you round out. And then think of relaxing the squeeze as you find your cow. Exhale and squeeze in as you round out in cat. Inhale to softly come through neutral and release that squeeze into the ball as you find your reverse shape. Check that you're not leaning back and forth as you play. You're trying to keep your tabletop line, or rather your table line, relatively stable on the arms and the legs, just playing with that soft squeeze and that engagement into the ball as you round out. And then reverse the shape, giving me a controlled concave shape. So as you're giving me that concave shape and releasing the squeeze into the ball, make sure that you're not allowing your belly to drop to the mat. So you're keeping your belly button firmly controlled and pulled softly in towards the center line the whole time that you play. Last one. From here, you're going to find your way to a seated wide-legged straddle on the mat, playing freestyle with your ball or with your block. I'll demo with the ball first. Sitting up nice and tall with a soft brace into your heels. You're going to give me a soft hold into the ball, pressing softly with your fingertips into the ball. Push the ball away from you as if you were trying to touch the wall at the opposite end of the room. Drag the ball back in and float it softly overhead. As you oscillate between the two positions, I want you to think of the second movement that we played with in the class, where you're trying to keep your shoulders as stable as you can and give me as much distance between the ears and the shoulder line as you play. If you're not using the ball and you're using your block, you're going to have the lengthened portion between the two hands and you're going to push the block away and float back to your start position. If you're doing this freestyle, you're going to mimic the hand position. I want you to end in extension, pushing the ball away and try to tuck your head between the two arms as if you were trying to frame the ears while bracing into the heels. Find your inner thigh connection and pull up through the pelvic floor towards your belly button. Float back to your start position. Pivot softly to face the right foot and rinse and repeat the same movement using your prop of choice. Push away, peel back up. You can keep the movement small, so instead of floating overhead, you can keep it small and just think of bringing it towards your chest and away from your chest. Almost skimming over the leg as you're playing. I want you to end long, framing your ears. If you can, tuck the ball or the block behind your leg and pull the ball into your foot as you think nose to knee. If you're using the block, try and wedge the block behind your foot and hug the block into your foot as you think nose to knee. If you're doing this freestyle, maybe try and wrap your hands around the foot and think nose to knee, or just keep that extended line if tucking behind the foot is not an option. Peel back up towards the center line and rinse and repeat your midway point flow. You can just play between the chest and that extended line this time. Pushing the ball away, looking for length, bracing through the inner thighs and looking for that connection through the inner thighs, the pelvic floor, and your abs. Float and hold, looking for as much length as you can, head tucked firmly between the two hands, looking down at the mat. Float back to your start position. Let's rinse and repeat on the left. Using the prop of your choice. Every time you drop down, try and bring your torso maybe a little bit closer to that knee line. You're going to give me one more dynamic, and then you're going to hold, trying to hook around the foot as you think, nose to knee. Keep hugging the ball or the block into your foot. Give me a little bit of an oppositional stretch. Peel back up along the center line and give me one last flow to the middle. Pushing the ball away from your chest, coming into extension, and then bringing the ball back. Work with resistance. So you've got a soft engagement into the ball, and I want you to give me enough of an engagement both on the extension away from your body line and the hug back in so that you can feel your arms, chest, shoulders, and upper back engage. All right, let's play with the saw line. Holding onto the ball in your left hand, you're going to float to the right, coming into a soft saw line, extending the right arm behind you as you try to reach over the right foot with the ball or the block. You're going to change sides, passing the ball from right to left as you give me a little dynamic saw. Playing with the ball or using the block and just passing hand to hand or doing this freestyle. Use your breath. You're going to hold the saw line on the right, trying to reach the ball, the block, or your fingertips over your right toes as you extend the right arm behind you and keep looking for the right fingertips behind your back. Inhale, give me a pass over. Give me 3 dynamic. Hold left. Reaching with the ball, with your right hand, reach it over your toes. Extend the left arm softly behind you and hold that frame. Come back towards the midline of the body. Tuck or sweep the legs behind you. Come to a soft 4-point kneel. And then find your way into a soft forward fold, gently holding the ball in front. You're going to give me a roll up, giving me a nice hollow frame through the body as you peel up. Nod your chin to your chest, holding the ball between your hands as you hang down. If you're using your block, use the broader section of the block, holding between the 2 hands, and rinse and repeat your roll up. Nod your chin to your chest, give me a hollow frame through the belly as you roll down to hang and wait, almost using that block or the prop as a weight and dropping it down to the floor, seeing if you can come out through the shoulder blades as you hang. You're going to give me one more like this, then we're going to change it up slightly. The next time you come down, you're going to stop in a tabletop frame and you're going to float the arms out in front, giving me a soft engagement into the ball or the block and tucking your head between the 2 arms. Reach the hands away from you and give me weight into the whole foot. Peel the ball back up towards your chest and come back to a starting frame. Push the ball away from your chest, tucking the head between the 2 arms and going for extension through the arms. Root through the feet, find that inner thigh connection. Find your pelvic floor connection. Float back to your start position as you roll up. Give me 2 more like this. Stretching through the back chain of the legs at the same time. Last one. Hold. Peel back up towards the center line of the body and give me a pivot on the mat to face the front. Feet are softly in parallel, or you can give me a turnout position if you prefer. Push softly into the ball or the block, or do this freestyle and float your hands overhead. Give me a soft little overhead sway. You're going to pass the ball from hand to hand as you gently palm tree sway side to side. Every time passing the ball to the opposite hand. Find that connection through your inner thighs. Connect through the pelvic floor and zipper up all the way to your waistline as you softly oscillate side to side. Think length out through the trunk, stretch through the ribs and the meridian of the arm. Give me 2 more little sways side to side. Last one. As you complete the last set, end with the ball overhead. Give me a soft push into the ball and bring it down in line with your chest. Rinse and repeat. Give me enough squeeze into the ball or the block so that you can feel your arms, chest, upper back and shoulders engaged. As you play, check that you're not sticking your bum out. Tuck your tailbone under, pull your belly button in as you play. As you float the ball overhead and back in line with your chest, think of that shoulder stability that we played with and try to keep your shoulders dropped away from your ears. So don't hug your shoulders towards your ears even when you're floating overhead. Keep them relaxed down. Almost think of weighting your collarbones down towards the floor. Last one. End with the ball softly in front of your heart. Push both palms in. Namaste to you all. Thank you so much for coming out and playing with me today. Give me a thumbs up to like this class. Shoot me your comments below. And remember to hit that subscribe button. I shall see you all tomorrow for playtime on the mat. Till then, keep it light.